this is Damon Melcher with X-Treme Bait Tanks. Today I'm in Roanoke, Virginia with ProStaffer Chris Bolt. Chris, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Nice to see you again. Hey, Chris has just ordered his 2021 ProStaffer Series bait tank, 50 gallon. And there's something a little special about this that he wasn't completely prepared for. But I'm going to come to what the whole collar scheme is all about here in a little bit. But Chris, let's talk about you for a little bit. You've been a ProStaffer with X-Treme going on, was it 3 years now?
About 3 years, yeah.
How did you come about X-Treme to begin with?
So I had half of a homemade tank and it just wasn't working for me. So I was in the market and saw that you were looking for ProStaffers, reached out to you, and that's how the relationship started.
So what had you used for a bait tank prior to X-Treme?
It was called Easy Flow, I believe, some company that has been bought out and out of business, and I had to makeshift and do a couple things to make it even work.
Right.
Wasn't keeping bait long at all.
And since your time with X-Treme, tell us about what that experience has been for you.
Oh, amazing. I mean, we use baits that are 2 inches long, and we've used baits up to 14 inches long. And the only thing that I needed was, when we're using bigger baits, we needed a bigger tank. So the only thing I've done is upgraded from a 35 to now a 50 gallon.
And one of the nice things about X-Treme, we've got our own equipment, so we have our standard tanks, but we can also tailor them to your needs or your boat or your situation. And this is an example because most of the lids on these tanks open up are vertical, but this is a horizontal lid. So the purpose of that is because now I've been on your boat, but I was trying to remember, is this going to fit up under the back
absolutely.
of your seat?
So this sits right behind my center console seats, and it's perfect. It's only 5 inches wider for each side, so it just sticks out just a little bit farther. Doesn't compromise anything, and it sits perfect.
And by sliding it up underneath the seat, obviously the way traditionally the lid opens, it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work.
So what we've designed on these tanks is this horizontal lid, and what that does, that allows you to access. Now, by doing the horizontal, you're exposing half of the bait area and the filter compartment, but it still allows you into your bait and maximizing up underneath the back of that center console, your seat, right?
Absolutely, because that's the only spot on my boat that this tank could work, is in that location. And the only thing was that the lid. Right. And you being able to make this an option, I can use that.
Yeah, so this has been very popular for that reason. And depending on how you open it up, but you would never open up this end other than to remove the whole lid in order to, because you'd have to be able to, you'd have to, in this case, instead of open up the back half, you'd have to remove the entire lid to get to your filter compartment.
Absolutely. Right.
Now, one of the things that we did with your tank in the new 2021 tanks, we saw the knob keeps. So those are in there. You've got the filter socks. You did not go with the 110, but you do have a skimmer in here.
Yes.
And obviously the idea is just to slowly but surely pull some of that surface water off. But if you go to build a tank or the website at extremebaittanks.com, you can build your tank. Basically pick the 50, decide if you want the horizontal cut on the lid, decide if you want the drain, if you want to add a skimmer or 110. And the other thing that's standard with the 21 tanks, other than the knob keeps, is this right here. So inside, you just saw that. These are
nice options.
These are 50-gallon tanks. So you have a watermark right here, and that watermark is for your 50. But you also, if we were to, because we cut all of our standard signature series tanks down, the 20, 35, and 50, from 26 inches tall, which is what this one is, down to 18. So if you cut what we call it a short 32. It's the same footprint as this 50, only it's 18 inches tall. You get 32 gallons of water in the bait area. Go ahead.
So the reason in doing that is when we use the big bait, of course we need 50 gallons. But when we use 2-inch baits, we don't need all that weight in the boat.
Right.
So having this option here.
Right, so what it does, it actually takes the standpipes that are normally 11 inches and cuts them down 6 inches and allows you to still have less water and be able to turn your water over where we'll filter, circulate, and oxygenate that water.
That's awesome.
So that's the watermark is standard. This is an add-on through Build a Tank. If you're somebody who can use that feature, we can either show you how to make these and drop that manifold down. And the manifold's a little different than the traditional one, because instead of having the bars that come down in the bags and hang off of them, since you're coming down on top of the pumps, we had to redesign this in order to be able to still get the bags on there and it not come into contact with the pumps, because you're packing a whole lot of stuff into a real small area, even smaller when you drop those down. All right, and so let's talk about the white, red, white. So you've earned your stripes, and when we originally set up X-Treme Bait Tanks, we were trying to figure out what we could do special for our staffers to help recognize those that went not necessarily over and above, but just really help the business out. And as we tweaked this, I wanted to reserve this color because we have white, red, white. All of our tanks are white, black, white. We have white, blue, white reserved for the saltwater series, but the red is not for sale, and we wanted to reserve that to identify. So whenever you see a ProStaffer with this tank, a white, red, white, you know that they've earned their stripes with X-Treme. And what Chris has done, we were just adding up the miles. We've got 2 trips to Gloucester, a trip to Florida, a couple other odds and ends here. But you and I personally has spent probably 5,000 miles.
Yeah.
And 1 car accident.
Yeah. We're okay though.
We're good. So's the semi. But we spent about 5,000 miles in the vehicle. And what we were doing, we weren't just fishing. I mean, we were delivering tanks, and you introduced me to the whole world of editing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you've done for me, and the videos that I've been able to produce on my own now as a result of that, the trips, the videos that you've put together for me, has earned you this status with X-Treme.
Well,
so
thank you.
Personally, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, this is great. I think this is awesome. It's beautiful. It's also, just something different.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, what's nice about it's one of a kind.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody can buy this tank. And he'd already say, well, I got my life tank. That's not how that works. So next year, this tank will be available. We just got to break them away from it, because we always want to keep our staffers with the newest, latest, greatest. There's been 13 improvements in this tank from last year.
Wow.
I mean, nothing drastic,
Yeah.
but just little tweaks from the knob keeps.
Your flush connectors
Yeah.
there for the plug-in.
Right, and I'm glad you brought that up. So that's something that we're looking to put on the site. And let's just sort of rotate this a little bit. And you can see here a nice cleaner look. That's going to be an add-on to build a tank, but he can connect whatever he wants from here to his power source. And when he's ready, he can just plug that right in, and he's got power to his 12-volt system.
Yeah, I don't have to actually go fumbling under, find my battery. I can just unplug it right here and boom.
And we started using dielectric grease to help prevent it from corroding, because I've been told, and you're going to be, looking at moving salt water, and we know we can put salt water in these tanks, but I've also learned that salt water is not my friend. So the better job we could do to protect those parts, the longer it lasts. But the good news is, in the event that this rots out, you just remove the four screws. That whole unit comes out, you cut it, you put a new one on, stick it back in. So I think most people who uses salt water
You're gonna have
understand.
maintenance.
Yeah, understand there's gonna be maintenance of those. All right, well, anything you want to add, Chris, to anything going on here?
I love it. Thank you so much.
Hey.
I can't wait to actually put bait in here and try the 32-gallon, conversion right there. That's going to be nice, because summertime, that's all we use, small bait, and we don't need that extra weight.
I would like you to talk a little bit about Bolt Fin-Atics too.
So Bolt Fin-Atics is our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We've been fishing, trying to show how-tos and bring everybody along on the ride and just show our experience on the water, salt water, fresh. We go for cobia at the bay to stripers here at Smith Mountain Lake.
And even perch.
And perch.
Right.
Very first fish you ever caught on our boat.
Hey.
But no, that's what we do, and that's our.
And there's also some other adventures. You got some scuba diving. You're now certified.
I'm going professional scuba diving. I've got my master captain's license, so the adventure just keeps on growing. And I hope to, if you look up Bolt Fin-Atics on YouTube,
Yep.
You can come along for the ride as well.
Join, click, and follow him along. It's fun to do what you enjoy doing,
Absolutely.
and
Never
we
worked a day in your
appreciate you taking X-Treme along when you can. And I'm definitely looking forward to our next road trip.
Me too. Thank
All
you
right, brother.
so much.
Hey, good. Thank you very much for
Thank
everything.
you.
And if you need any information on X-Treme Bait Tanks, products, prices, or sizes, visit extremebaitanks.com. And until then, we hope you have an extreme day.